All right, Kenman here, and today we are completing die project number 43, round 2, fights. Today we've got the Kershaw Shuffle 2. It has these fiberglass reinforced like nylon scales. I have never attempted to dye this, but apparently it works. So we're going to give it a go. I've got them on these hooks, ready to drop them in so we can get started, not spend too long. We're going to go for a darker red today. I don't know how fast these are going to soak it up. I'm trying to make sure I get a nice coating on the whole scale. If you have like an air pocket, that air bubble is a spot that the dye does not sit on, therefore it doesn't react the same way. And if I want a nice uniform color, I want that to hit everything evenly. Why is my floor so squeaky today? All right, so that is in. I have the dye. It's about 2 ounces of liquid RIT dye with about 24 ounces of water. I've got it heated up just under boiling. That heat makes it active, makes the dye start working faster. All right, these are a few of the handles that I have done in the past. Since I don't know how well this reacts, I'm just going to take a quick look. Wow, holy cow. Before I even look at these, we're going to do a rinse. I've got some water right here, and when you take it out and drop it in the water, because when we look at it like this, it's coated with dye, so you don't necessarily see the exact color. So I'm going to go ahead and take these out right now and go straight into the rinse, just to see where we're at. This basically removes any excess dye, neutralizes it from dyeing any further. You can see where you're at. Wow, look at how red that got that fast. I don't even know if I want to go any darker than that. Wow. That happened really, really quick. We'll go ahead and throw them back in for a minute. We'll just see what happens. It's all an experiment here, so why not? I don't know how much darker I really want them to be, though, so that's almost good to go. Haven't even had a chance to look at anything. That's kind of nice, though. Red. The Vision FG I don't have in front of me right here. It was only in the red dye for 1 minute. This is micarta. Little fail for you. This Kubi and this micarta handle here. The micarta takes a little different. It soaks in a little bit more. It's got a little bit more porousness than the G10. Like this G10, I did this purple CJRD Lago. Great knife. Purple turned out nice with the little black and the red accents, right? I've been doing these fade dyes. This is a little horizontal or fade dye, and then a vertical one where I'm kind of dipping it in and slowly bringing it out so I can get these fades and these transitions from one color to another. It's been really fun. I've been enjoying the dye projects. Here we are doing some FRN scales that I've never attempted to dye before. We're kind of moving up in the world here, trying different materials. We've done micarta, we've done G10. I feel like I did one other one that was, maybe not. Maybe I'm losing my mind. Comment below. Kenman, don't you remember that time you did so-and-so? Not offhand. This is Die Project 43, so I mean, we've really been ripping through it. 15 is still in limbo. Rest in peace, Die Project 15. Bing! Check that out. See if we can get back to that sometime soon. 38 is also on hold. I'm trying some fun stuff. I did a few experiments to see if what I wanted to do was going to work, and they were successful experiments, so we will be getting to that pretty soon. I'm going to go ahead and get this water out of my way. Make sure I don't kick that. Got my crazy dirty towel here. Wow, these got dark fast. I almost should have just left it out that first time, but a nice deep dark red's going to look pretty cool. Wow. Maybe we should sand them a little bit. These got really dark, really fast. I almost want it to be a little lighter than that. Seems to be drying a lot faster than G10 does as well. I wonder if we should try hitting that with a little sandpaper. See what happens. Worst case scenario, we throw it back in the dye. We're getting wild here, you guys. I don't know if this is a good idea or not. Oh, actually, this might be brilliant. Are we turning this into something completely different all of a sudden? What's happening? Now we're getting... Okay, why didn't I think I wanted to do this in the first place? This is cool. Okay, I'm just kind of sanding down all these raised spots. Are getting kind of back to the original color, which is giving it an interesting weathered kind of look. It's making everything kind of stick out. Textures, that's kind of smart to do. You got some textures, give them a little wear, and they start to pop, and all of a sudden you've got something else. Ooh, okay. Compare. Yep, it's too late now. We're doing it. Nice thing is, though, is when it comes down to it with dye like this, we can go and kind of sand them nice and even and stick them back in that dye and then pretty much recoat it with a color. But yeah, check that timestamp there. That first time I brought it out of the dye, it was a nice red, and it went to this really dark, much darker red. It was more of a brighter red for that brief moment in time. But I thought, we'll throw it back in for a little bit longer just to see what happens. That's kind of half the fun of an experiment. Okay. I can just see the comments. They're not even live. I'm sitting here in a quiet room by myself doing this, and I'm already reading the comments of the future. Like, wait, don't do it. Or, oh, I love that. I can't, whoops, go back now. But in reality, these are starting to look like bone, kind of, what's the word, kind of peeking through. I'm actually pretty excited about this. This is looking really cool. Kind of a fun impromptu deal. Yeah, you enjoy what you see? Hit that like button. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. Helps me out. I appreciate it. I am quite happy, actually. Look at this. That is cool. Unexpected happy accident, I guess. Because I wouldn't have tried sanding this at all had I taken them out a little bit earlier and achieved the red that I was originally envisioning. But when it got darker than I really wanted it, it opened me up to the possibility of maybe doing a little sanding. Hopefully I'm staying in focus there. I apologize. But now we've gone a completely different way. And this is turning out to be rad. Okay, I just did a saved moment. I'm off camera here. I'm going to rinse it off in that water that we had from before. I'm going to dry these off and dry my hands off on a separate towel here. And get these dry and we'll put this thing back together. Holy. Wow, look at that. Okay. Fun stuff is happening here. Crazy custom changes live as we go. Fun little story time here while we're drying these off. I ordered a CNC machine. What does that mean? Well, that means rather than just doing die projects like this to make custom scales for these pocket knives, I could actually start fabricating some of these scales. What's everyone think about that? Comment below. What should we do? How are we going to do it? It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to fabricating some scales. And start off easy. Do some real simple stuff that doesn't have too much of this recessed liners. Try to make it as easy as I can. Some of the scales on some knives where the liners don't go in like this, they're basically flat on the one side, and then they just have the holes and the curves and everything you see on this outer edge, which would make it a lot easier than something where you've got a lot of things going on the inside as well. Doesn't mean we won't be able to get to that at some point, but I want to start off, take it easy, kind of learn how to do some designing and stuff on the machine and how it goes. So really, I just want to try to get these dry. Don't want any moisture on there that could potentially do a little corrosion as it's underneath there inside the knife. Okay, let's move over here. Sorry to go quick, I'm making you dizzy here. What are we looking at? 11 minutes, not terrible. Try to keep her under 20 here, Kenman. Can we get it put back together? All right, here is where we are at. They are dry. Looks good. So, get these out of our way. Bring this back in. And when we did this, if you didn't watch part 1, bing, check it out. Where we got this apart, we actually took apart 43 and 44 at the same time, which is a Kaiser Cobalt, and we'll get to that pretty soon. You'll see it coming up. But when I took this apart, it kind of held together like this, and so I decided to just leave it like this and save myself a little effort maybe on the rebuild. Okay, so let's see how it goes. Oh, this is gonna look sweet. All right. So let's actually try this first. There is a flat. Where is it though? Right there. So there is a flat spot. This has a captive pivot. So I'm going to keep the flat spot down. Try to get it through there. I don't know which side will be easier. And of course, come on. I remember this was a little bit of a struggle. Now that I think about it, it was kind of a mess when I was trying to push it out. It didn't even want to pop out. And I had to put quite a bit of pressure to get that thing to go. Alright. So I've got it against that notch. Let's see, how can we shimmy that through there without a full there we go. Got it. How about that? Just move that blade a little bit. Tricked it right in there. So this has a T8 for the pivot, which is pretty standard. Looks like there's a hair right there. I'm trying to make sure I don't screw that hair into it. Yeah, most knives have a T8 for the pivot and then T6s for the rest. Some have T8s for the body screws as well. The T8 just got a little bit bigger threads, so it's a little bit easier to control and less chance of stripping a screw. But the T6s work just fine. And if you're not taking a knife apart like I'm doing for this project here, generally you may never loosen that screw ever. So does it really matter as long as it's secure? Right? If you had to take it apart and put it back together over and over on a regular basis, then that's going to show wear, and then it'd be something where you'd want it to be as it can handle that type of a stress. But yeah, most cases, these 6s, they work fine. But I'm sure everyone would agree, if they were to move everything up to 8s, it would be a little bit better. Okay, we have got it. When you put a knife back together, you have to be careful about centering the blade. So I haven't tightened everything down yet. Just basically got to put loose together. Now I'm going to go ahead and crank down the pivot all the way, but not so tight that it's ridiculous. Just basically fully tightened. And that should put the blade to the center, if anything, a little bit that way. Then we can crank everything else down. I kind of like to go around and get everything mostly snug, and then go back and then do the final crank down, just to kind of keep it even. Is it necessary? Maybe not. Force the habit. That's how I've been doing it. In case you don't want one side's threads to be pulling tighter than the other side, potentially. Man, I'm creating some words today. All right, we are back together minus the pocket clip. I haven't decided what I want to do because it's tipped down and that affects kind of how I carry it, so I'm not going to put it on quite yet. That blade is locked into position. I need to loosen it up. All right, flick it out. Here's where you want to check, make sure it's the right tightness, so that blade is secure and stable. All right, that's solid. Closes, thumbs out, flicks out. We have done it. All right, move this out of the way. Let's take a look at what we have done today. All right. So we have the Kershaw Shuffle 2. A little tight. I need to get some KPL in there. Kind of loosen it up. It was a little stiff. This is an inexpensive knife. It flicks out good. Oops. Thumb out works good. So this Kershaw is a kind of a dual action. You have a pry bar / flathead screwdriver, and then these are bottle openers, so you can open a bottle either direction. And then, of course, the knife. Let's take a look at these scales. What's everyone think of the final job? See where it's kind of looks almost like bone kind of starting to show through on those peaks? I like it. All right, I'll bring it down here. You can see the before and after. What does everyone feel about this die project? So I'll still be doing more dies. Like I said, I got that CNC machine, so you can look forward to seeing some stuff. Get CNC'd, do some KDK custom scales. I'm excited to get going on it. I love doing art project. That's how I kind of got into this. Coming up with some creative new styles of a knife that you can buy. Make it kind of unique. Make it your own. That's kind of what I like to do here. A lot of fun stuff coming up on the channel. Ooh. If you want to see some more of these dies where I do the fade, you can check that out up here. There's a lot of them, and I've got it kind of dialed in. I'm going to be doing some more in the future. Stay sharp. See you soon.